Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. Let's change gears, head to the NFL, and we're going to take a look at the New York Giants at the Dallas Cowboys. Landscape a little different. No Tony Romo, guys. We got Dak Prescott making his NFL debut. And, I know, Preston, you like Dak. I'm going to let you talk about it. He can't ask for any more than he did in preseason. Is it going to carry over to the regular season?
I hope so. People know, maybe you don't know. If you were watching on Twitter recently, we made a bet on Dak Prescott to win Offensive Rookie of the Year at 500-1 before Romo got injured. It was essentially, he looked really good in preseason, but it was, if Tony Romo gets hurt, which is a lot more likely than 500-1, then Dak's going to have a legit shot with a really good team around him to make a run, whether they win the division or at least make the playoffs. I just thought it was a good bet, and now we're sitting pretty good shape. So I'm going to be on the Dak train as long as I can, whether he looks like terrible in week one here against the Giants or not. He's my boy now for this 2016 NFL season. As far as the actual line goes, breaking it down a little bit, I know it's still pick or so. Romo's probably worth, no matter how awesome Dak is or not, which will remain to be seen, Romo's probably worth more than the 3 to 3.5 points is the drop. Probably closer to 5 or 5.5 as far as a power ratings numbers are concerned. So I wouldn't be surprised, and I kind of expect the Giants to close 1.5, 2-point favorites. So if you do like the Cowboys, and I'm reading the market correctly, I think you can wait and get plus money later. If you like the Giants, I'd bet it now. I think I saw like a minus 102 pick last night when I was looking around. So that would be my lean, is bet Giants now, buy back on Cowboys later. Maybe you can scalp something, but as far as taking a true position, I won't be.
Well, Ralph, we've actually seen the line move to 1. Giants are 1 in places now. And I had put my opening line in for this game is that the odds makers were trying to confuse us by opening this up at pick, because anybody that follows stats knows you bet the underdog in Dallas Cowboy games and you've made a lot of money over the last few years. So to confuse us, they didn't want to make anybody the favorite, and they made it a pick 'em. But the money's going to come to the Giants because, Ralph, I know you did an article at Wager Talk where you wrote about rookie QBs making, their first starts in the NFL. Can Dak Prescott, the preseason, you're not seeing blitzes, you're not seeing, all the different packages and game, it's game speed, but, when you're running a vanilla defense, it's not game speed. He's going to get thrown to the fire. The fortunate thing for him is he's got a running back in one of the best offensive lines in football. That's definitely going to help.
Marco, absolutely. And I did the article just because of the 2 quarterbacks starting. I mean, 2 quarterbacks went down with injury this year, Romo and Bridgewater, and it caused 2 rookies to now start with Wentz at Philadelphia and Prescott here in Dallas. So I wanted to look at how quarterbacks do as a rookie their opening NFL game. Since 2005, there have only been 12. They're listed in the articles. It has the ATS, the over-under numbers, and what they've done. Now, all of those have been number 1 and number 2 draft choices, with the exception of Russell Wilson, who, with Seattle, actually went to Arizona and was an away favorite of 2.5 points, and they lost that game outright. So Prescott's in a brand new territory here, being a 4th-round draft choice. The other thing I look at that concerns me is that almost every other situation of those 12 quarterbacks, each one came into camp as the designated starter. These were teams that were very poor, that built the program and built the preseason about getting this quarterback ready. That wasn't the case with Prescott. They had him playing with 2s and 3s and not 1s. Even though it's very vanilla in the preseason, it's a big difference playing against their 1s. So that concerns me with both him and Wentz this week, not having seen the 1s or not being prepared to play. Now, when I look at these games, I looked at the teams last year. Dallas was horrific, minus 220, 22 turnovers on the year. I mean, that number is so inflated. The next worst team was minus 15. So that means they're going to want to do a conservative play call. You have all 5 offensive linemen back that started last year. In fact, 4 of the 5 offensive linemen started 16 games, and the 5th missed 4 games. So the best O-line. And again, Ezekiel's getting a lot of love, but you got a couple other great running backs there as well. It'll be by stable. When I looked at the Giants, McAdoo comes in as the new head coach, and he's going to look that when Eli Manning threw the ball more than they ran last year, they were 1-7 straight up. That makes me think they want to be conservative as well. They know they want to run the ball. They don't want Eli Manning to make those prone interceptions that he sometimes does. So for me, even though the numbers come down on the total, I think you're going to have 2 conservative play calls. And I know a lot of people have had best bets on the overs already. I don't really like a side in this game, but if you're forcing my hand with the situation with the quarterbacks and the way the teams played last year, I have to think both teams think this is winnable. Both know it's a division game. The team that makes the fewest mistakes apt to win. I think conservative game plans are in the offing.
I think, Mark, I'll give you a shout out on a best bet video a few weeks ago. You gave out under 49.5 or 50, and so you're looking like you're in good shape. That was before the Romo injury.
That was before the Romo injury because I felt that they were going to change the game plan to try to protect Romo more and protect their defense. And that's what the Giants need to do too, because they had one of the worst defenses in all of the NFL last year. You got to get closer to the time of possession battle, and too often the Giants, were on the bad side of that last year, and you can't leave that defense on the field. One, as bad as it was, and then you're not, you're leaving on there more than your offense. It's just going to get worse. So yeah, I'm sitting with that 49.5 ticket. I like that one. I'll just ride that out, and hopefully we won't have mistakes. That's the only thing. Whenever you get a young quarterback, you're thinking conservative, you're thinking under, and that's the way it should go. But if he makes a couple, we've seen rookie quarterbacks make those pick sixes, because when they make a mistake, they make a bad one sometimes. So, but we're getting some value with the 49.5, looking at a total at 46 now. All right, guys. Hey, if you are new to WagerTalk, after your first purchase of $12 or more, email support at WagerTalk and just put your username in the email, and we'll add $50 to your account. You can use that $50 however you want. It's free money. It's our way of saying thank you for joining the WagerTalk family. Check it out at WagerTalk.com. We'll be back with more.